just told it. Yeah, you gotta make sure we are live on the
Okay,
YouTube.
I'm live. Yep, I'm live. You're live.
And
We're live. Wow.
It's been a while. It's been a long time.
I mean,
Yeah,
we really abandoned our kids, didn't we? We didn't do any.
We did.
Live.
June was too much.
Reading sprints. Sorry, kids.
June was too much. June was a lot. Well, I went back to work. Emma's in school. I don't know what you were doing, but you were busy.
It was a lot going on.
We gotta like regroup. So we're here to regroup.
Recalibrate schedules and all of that good stuff.
We are real people. Shit happens.
Yeah.
So
yeah. We're still here.
We're still here. Unfortunately, for some of these books, we are still reading.
Listen,
I at least read all the books.
You did much better than me.
I did not like all the books, but I did read them all.
You did. You hung in there and you read all the books. I am proud of you.
No, I'm just a masochist. It's like
I mean, on one of these, I really tried and I just couldn't do it. So shall we? Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about our May and June picks.
June. Yes. We are catching up so that we can start fresh in July, get back in our groove. So
and hopefully enjoy the books a little more than we did the last couple of months. I think May, what do we read?
I think July will be better.
The Beautiful? That's not right. I'm wrong. That's not right.
No, May is Witches Steeped in Gold.
Yes.
And the Ones We're Meant to Find.
Boom. I no longer have those books because the Ones We're Meant to Find was a library book. Well, they both were. Well, first I bought the Witches Steeped in Gold. And then I read a little bit of it and I was like, nope, I returned it. And then my library holder came in. So they've gone back to the library.
Well, mine are signed. Do you want to start with Witches Steeped in Gold, which was our main pick? I don't know if I have a lot to say on either of these books, to be quite frank, because I don't know what I read in this one. And I barely remember this because it kept losing me. The pacing was very strange. So I don't even have an idea of how I really feel about it because the pacing was just so weird.
It was
in my humble opinion.
You're right. I agree. It was the pacing, and for me, it felt extremely repetitive. I felt like I kept reading the same thing over and over again.
But it was repetitive and not in a way that helped in any way. Like I still don't understand what happened, but you repeated a lot of stuff a few times. So that seems weird. Right? Like if you're going to repeat it a bunch, I should remember some of it.
I remember nothing. That book is a complete blur to me, but also it just could not hold my interest like at all. I didn't find anything interesting about the book.
I would get really interested and then the pacing would like slow down to a halt and I would just go somewhere else. And I don't recall anything from the story because
Same.
And I really want to hear from anybody who did enjoy the story because I want to know what I missed when I was like zoning out.
I don't know. I zoned out majority of the book. I just did not care. I was so bored.
And there was a romance and like why does every YA book have to have a romance in it? Same with this. Like why is there a romance in this? Does this need a romance in it? I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what I read, but why does it need a romance? Why does everything need a romance?
I DNF.
And let's talk about like some queer baiting here. I did not know these were going to be sisters. I 100% thought this was queer. Right?
I knew they were sisters.
And then I start reading it and they're sisters. I'm like, okay, so it's going to be a story about sisters. But then it becomes like a large chunk of it becomes this relationship with the one sister and this other guy. And like, I liked that storyline actually. And then it would go to the other sister and I'm like, what? I'm so confused. Like, I don't know what the point was. I'm lost. Like, this is going to be a really depressing discussion of books.
We are
because
so sorry. It is not our fault. We did not write these books.
we were really hoping that Emma would not be busy today and would also have liked them, but I don't know if Emma feels any better or worse about these books than you do.
Well, she started off liking What You Steeped in Gold, though, right?
I think she did. I think she started liking the ones we're meant to find. But I'll be honest, I feel like I've seen a lot of Goodreads reviews for the ones we're meant to find that are all like, I don't understand what I just read. What was this?
Right.
And exactly. I feel like if you want this, you want like a sci-fi environmental looking at humanity story, read Clara and the Sun. Read Ishikawa Guru or whatever, however I say his name appropriately, because I probably said it wrong. Don't read this. And I feel bad because I know that the author had a whole bunch of stuff go on with her book and the publisher, and that's like totally, but I don't know what the heck this book was.
I don't know what it was either. And I don't like torturing myself, and I just could not continue. I just like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this story. I've got zero interest, zero. So that was it for me. I did not make it through. I'm not even sure. I don't even know where I stopped. Maybe I got almost halfway. Maybe I don't remember.
I mean, it has like almost 4 stars on Goodreads. And I don't know if that...
You can't trust those people.
I don't know if that's just the hype of it or what. Because there's a lot of people that are just like, this disappointed me. This disappointed me. This disappointed me. It's all like book. The cover was beautiful and it bamboozled me, you know, like.
Can I? Okay, let me just say this one thing to people out there. You all better stop letting yourself get tricked by these pretty covers. I'm
over pretty covers. I trust no pretty covers anymore.
I want the ugly. Stop letting those pretty covers draw you in, because half the time they are extremely disappointing once you actually read the story. Pretty covers don't mean a great book.
No, it like is that stupid phrase? You can put lipstick on a pig. Like,
yeah.
But it's just I was yeah. This was like the final lesson. I can't. I'm over pretty books. Like, I don't care.
Good.
Make them as pretty as you want, but screw you, because you're tricking me and I don't like it.
Now, I will say this. I was never excited about that book, The Ones We're Meant to Find. Y'all know
I only said yes to these because they were pretty.
I said yes to them because Emma really wanted to read them.
Yes, and we read a lot of adult books, and we have to throw a bone to poor Emma.
Right. Now, What You Steeped in Gold, I was interested. I was like, oh, okay. It could be Jamaicans, islands, Caribbean, something going on. And it just felt very flat for me. Very, very flat for me.
The magic system was really poorly explained. And like, what was it even called? It wasn't like the reaping or whatever, but basically like the reaping, however they harvested, the harvesting, whatever that game thing. It was so poorly explained. Like, there were lots of big fact points that were just really glossed over, and then other things were really repeated. And I was like, I don't need to know this again. I would like to understand what the hell else is happening in this world. Like, can you world build?
Exactly.
But world building is hard. And
for sure.
So,
I'm trying to figure out, because I'm not 100% like, oh, like, let's just take fantasy. I don't hate YA fantasy, but I haven't figured out what kind of YA fantasy works for me. For instance, I love A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Loved it. I like the His Fair Assassins series. Love it. So I don't know what it is that makes me enjoy a YA fantasy and what makes me just want to throw it across the room. I haven't figured that part out yet.
Okay, so then let's segue in.
Honest, I haven't figured it out yet across the board with YA in general. You know what I mean?
So let's segue into the Library of the Dead from June, because I feel like this is not an adult book. I feel like this is YA. And that's
but did we not
fine.
see with our own eyes that it said adult?
Yeah, it says adult on the back of the arc. And the price is adult. If I as a YA book, it was enjoyable. It was a 3-star read. Like I have nothing to complain about. It was fine. Right. It did what it said on the tin. It entertained me. It entertained me. Like I felt today, okay? My brain doesn't work. But like it was fine. But if you're telling me it's adult fantasy, then I expect something else. I expect something like you gotta punch it up a notch because I read a lot of adult fantasy, and adult fantasy hits different. So then if this is adult fantasy, this is hella not a 3-star read. So I don't even know how to rate this. Because I did enjoy it. I'm
trying to figure out how did they say it's adult when the main character she's like
15.
Right. So how does adult come into play? I mean,
is it because
she's a kid saving other kids?
It felt like sort of like the Diviners. It gave me that kind of vibe where you had like these people that had some magical stuff and they were saving people and not everybody knows everything. Like I was happy with the world. I liked that she could talk to ghosts. I like but it read really young, and I
extremely
am cool with that. If you're gonna actually, I guess I'm getting mail. I can see the mailman. I am cool with that if that's what the book is. But I mean, the cover price is going to be $28 for a hardback. That is adult money.
That's adult money. Okay, now here's the thing. Yes, it read very young, and I did not like that. But also for me, the language was really weird. I kept saying to myself, why did she say it that way? Why is she using that word?
Because it's an adult. It felt like an adult writing, an out-of-touch adult writing a 15-year-old.
Yeah, because I kept wondering, like, did teenagers ever speak in this way? It felt so off.
Well, also the time period isn't clearly corny. The time period isn't clearly delineated. Are we in a near future? Are we in a near past? Where are we? So that helps. The way that the character speaks is a little odd too. I do agree with you on that. But in general, I just like, if I was sitting at the beach, I would be like, yeah, that was a good time. Like, I'm not going to ultimately, am I going to remember it? No. Am I going to recommend it to somebody? Probably not. If somebody pulls it off my shelf and says, like, oh, how's this? I'm going on a plane. I'd be like, oh, yeah, it's a good time. Whatever. You want to borrow it? But I'll probably steer you to something else,
Right. Exactly.
But it read so young.
It read extremely young. I mean, if I had not been doing other things while listening to it, I don't know if I would have been able to continue, because again, the reading young, but the language, it felt like a British person trying to speak like an American person, but just got the vernacular and everything just all wrong. It just did not fit.
Yeah, something's off. Was totally off on that. We're just gonna cruise through these books. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm spinning. Put my charger in my phone, and I want to make sure it's charged.
You went for a spin. Setup. We have some janky setups, guys, but it's working, so janky, and that's what matters, is that it's working. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do we have anything else to say on this?
Would you read another book from him? Because I'm not sure that I would, just based off of the language that he uses. Like, if he writes that way all the time, I'm out.
I think I would try one more, but I wouldn't buy it.
Right. Now, this is a series, right? This is book one of a series, yes?
This is a series. Okay.
Yeah, I would not continue.
And this is another one that I think a lot of people really liked. I didn't Lacey say that she saw a lot of people talking about how much they really liked this. Now, if you read a lot of YA and you read this, I can see it. I can see why somebody would really like this. But it's not an adult book. And maybe that's like a weird thing to get hung up on, but I don't know. Like, if you're going to charge adult
to get hung up on. you and I were expecting something completely different because we thought it was adult.
Yeah. What you need to read is The Helm of Midnight. That's what you need to read.
I still have that book, don't I? Thanks for reminding me.
You better.
Yeah, I do. It's from one of the other library books.
When we talk about like dark things that have to do with like death and and libraries and things, like that's adult fantasy. There's like all kinds of crazy things happening. Everybody is kind of an adult, even if they're young, they're adults. Even if they're children at some point in the story, they grow up and have adult experiences. Like it's just better.
But isn't it also too like the way a writer writes something? For example, the fantasy series, His Fair Assassins. Those are teenagers, I believe, but they don't read like teenagers.
Well, you can write older teenagers and you can write younger teenagers, and it's who are you trying to capture as your audience? This felt like you were trying to capture a really young teenager and get them to read somebody who's either their peer or just above their peer sort of age. You know, like
it's like you were the 7th graders on up. That's how it felt.
Yeah, it didn't feel like you would be reading down on it, like age-wise or group-wise. It was you would read up to it. So, I don't know. Maybe that makes sense. Who knows? I just say stuff.
It makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, but I didn't hate it. I just don't feel like it was marketed appropriately. Like if you had told me it was YA from the beginning, if you priced it as a YA book, like this even looks like kind of like a YA cover.
It does.
Like just do that. Like it felt like it kind of wanted to be like, what was that book I read recently and I really freaking loved? And I'm not remembering it right now. Oh my God, I can't remember. Where's my Goodreads? And it was set in England. There was like all kinds of magic happening under.
Oh, what was that?
Under the surface. I read it like a month or so ago. Oh my God.
Well, that's probably can't remember. It happened a month ago.
It's like over a month ago. It was like 70 books ago.
Right.
Because
ridiculous.
Welcome to I behind me are all the books that I have in hard copy that I can locate for a wrap up for May, because I still haven't wrapped up May because that's how bad I am. And
you're gonna do a combo May-June wrap up?
I'm gonna have to do May in 2 parts and then June on its own.
Oh boy. Oh, that's right, because May was to read like Lacey.
Yeah, Left-Handed Booksellers of London. Like
right. Yes.
Yeah, that book was fast-paced, set in England. It was fantastic. It set a different time period. You had young people. They were like teenagers, but like older teenagers. But it can read adult. It can read a little younger. But I feel like it was appropriately marketed. Like it is a young adult fantasy that can be read by some people that are older. They didn't try to make it an adult fantasy.
Yeah.
This wasn't marketed.
Right? It's how you market it. And then it's like, it's how you write it. You know? Because if one of those things is off, now the reader's expectations have not been met.
And this was really off. Like, this is not an adult book. If you had told me it was YA, if you had told me it was YA, I would go, oh, okay, it's really young YA. Like, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. Because it's not middle grade, but it's very young YA. Okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah.
But you were just so off. It was so off your rocker on this one.
So off.
Anyway.
But again, like, even if it would have been marketed as YA, for me, the
it wouldn't have made a difference.
Threw me off. I was like, this is irritating me at this point. So that's why I'm unsure if he writes that way, period, in all of his books.
I would probably be more likely to try a different book by him.
Yeah, not
like outside of the series to see if it's just a function of the series or if it's does he always write that way? I mean, so yeah. I don't have a copy of The Chosen and the Beautiful in hard copy. I have it on my Kindle.
I still have my library book.
Oh, good. You can hold one up because I had an e-arc of it. And this is, again, you didn't like this.
I didn't.
I
Here's the
thought it
thing.
was.
It's
I
it's
thought
not
it
that
was
it was written
fine.
poorly. It was written very
Well,
well. It just felt unnecessary to me. I was
I
like,
think the
why does
fantasy
this
element was
exist?
unnecessary.
I felt like this whole thing was unnecessary.
I think the fantasy element was unnecessary. I don't think that needed to be part of it. I kind of liked having this other perspective from Jordan Baker,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of liked getting to see a different angle of Gatsby, which I've read a bunch, and you
Yeah.
read it for the first time this year. So it was kind of
Right.
nice to see a different angle of the story.
Yeah.
And to throw in an element of race into it.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like you could have pulled back on the fantasy and done more with the race relations.
Right.
Because
is that my what? I see a Wi-Fi signal. Is that me? No, that's not me.
it's always me. It's always me.
Okay. Unlike the Library of the Dead, where the writing was like, I cannot. While I didn't love this book, I want to read her other books because I think
Her
she's a
writing
great
was
writer.
beautiful.
Yeah. So while I may not have loved this particular story, I would really like to read her other novellas.
Yeah. I think I have another one in an ERC that
also
had out.
You know how like you've read The Great Gatsby a bunch of times. I think I would have also been served better if I'd read it maybe a few more times before reading this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like I do know the story fairly well.
Yeah.
And it was nice to get it from a different perspective. And you know what? There is this, and it's in the beginning of that novella, and it's in the beginning of Gatsby, where what's his face? The husband says the whole thing about that news article, and you know, eventually, like, I guess like all the black people are going to outnumber us. That whole little exchange that happened in Gatsby. And I liked that she kept it in, and I like that she kept it in so that, you know, you could sort of introduce that topic of race. And I just feel like it was there, but I feel like trying to do too much. Like, you could have eliminated the fantasy and focused on the race thing. You could have eliminated the race stuff and you could have focused on the fantasy.
Like, pick one.
Or you could have made it longer and done both. But
good point.
It was really hard in a very short, concise book to.
Yeah.
That's a challenge. And I think there's probably a writer who can do that. But I just, as beautiful as her writing is, I don't know if she fully executed on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got a different, and I like that Jordan Baker was kind of, you know, she was like bisexual and interesting and kind of, because that was in all likelihood
on her own, doing her own thing, you know, self-sufficient.
I mean, she doesn't get a lot of space and time in Gatsby, but she's kind of always there.
Yeah, that's true.
And she is the sporting woman, you know, like that woman could very well have been, you know, a kind of like a lesbian or a bisexual, or she could have also been a perfectly straight, normal, not perfectly straight and normal. That's stupid. But like could have also been, you know, straight and just like all the other characters in the book. But, you know, it was nice to take that route because you often had those women that they became sports stars, and like that, I guess that was kind of a stereotype or whatever, you know. And there's a reason for stereotypes. There's always somebody that fits the thing, right?
Right.
They don't come out of the ether, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting way to play on that stereotype, to talk about race, but it just could have been executed better.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, like,
where'd you go?
You want to weigh on my Twitch stream? She says,
I don't know where you went.
We're just moving right along here.
Hi. I like literally everything shut down.
Did everything die?
Yeah, everything. Oh, wait, hold on. Ah.
Excuse us while we get through these technical difficulties. There you are.
Sorry about that. Like literally, the whole thing shut down. Like my Safari just went nope. I was like, oh, okay. Guess we're done here. Thanks. Safari was mad that I didn't feel like this was really well executed.
Oh my. Sorry, Safari. Sorry.
But no, the writing was stunning.
Cover.
Beautiful cover.
Yeah,
the writing was stunning. Yeah. I really, really, really like the author. I will try anything from her again.
Her previous novellas, I think we should definitely read for sure. Yeah.
And I really did enjoy the different perspective on the Gatsby story. But like I said, I just think that I wish she'd actually just pulled back on the fantasy. I didn't think it really added anything to it. She could have just played with this idea of race and within the Gatsby story and just left it there. But then I guess it wouldn't be a tour book, would it, if it didn't play with some fantasy?
If it didn't have a bit of fantasy in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. At least you liked.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I listened to most of it while I was on a walk. I was thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fine. I would recommend it to other people. I wouldn't be glowing about it like this is going to change your life, but like, yeah, no, it's a good book.
You know what? I too would recommend this to people because I thought the writing was really well done, and
it's a good book.
Yeah, I would also recommend this.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that wasn't too terrible. All right.
No, see, we're getting better as we go through because now
we
get to the only one we both truly enjoyed.
Right.
The other black girl. Did you mark yours up at all? Because I did not. And I feel like I devoured this so early on in June that I almost did myself a disservice for this discussion.
So let's talk about that for a minute because I've been thinking about what you just said. The downside of I wish I would have marked this up.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were some really great quotes in here that I enjoyed. There were some parts in here that I wanted to discuss, and I can't remember what they are because I didn't mark them. So, and then there are other times, like when I get the library books for our picks, I can't mark these at all.
Yeah,
but I need to get better at that because you just can't remember everything.
No, you can't.
And we read so many books in a month that it's almost impossible to do so.
Yeah, it's really hard to remember it all. But I really thought it was perfectly executed in terms of like creepiness factor, but also messaging. Like it really pushed. I think you got the point. Like there's no ambiguity. Like the ending. But what was the friend's name? The one that like goes with her to the hair party?
Oh yeah. I really liked her friend.
I was like, I wish this friend could have like snapped her into shape. Because like she knew, she's like, no, I don't use your weird hair oil. Sorry, thank you, ma'am. I don't know what's in it.
Right. What was her name?
What was her name? I can't remember.
Because there's Nella, Hazel, and I can't remember.
Malika? No.
That sounds close. Yeah, Malika.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And like I feel like she had a really good boyfriend. Like he was really good. Like he did his darndest.
Yeah. They had a nice little relationship.
So yeah.
I liked her relationship. I really enjoyed her friendship.
Yeah.
It was very sweet to me, and they had a nice bond, and it felt very real. Like I believed that friendship.
Yeah. But that's creepy though, that if you think about, because is there an element, there's definitely an element, because you see it like in our politics, of people who you don't understand why they say the things they do and think the things they do because the things that they're saying, doing, and believing actually go against who they are as a human being.
Right.
And it's scary. Like,
Yeah.
how did they get brainwashed? Do they have magic hair oil too?
Right.
Like is there
Right.
magic?
I mean, I'm thinking back to Stacey Dash. It's like, what? I'm sorry, man. What's happening?
What
Miss
happened?
Dash?
Yeah.
When Stacey Dash, she was just, I was, makes you just wonder what's happening here.
And then, but is this really, because she was in the author was in publishing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what publishing is kind of like? Do you feel like you're sort of the token person who has to like, because we talked about this once with like how does beta reading work, right? Who are these beta readers? And there is that scene where like they're trying to get her to read this manuscript for, I guess to see if anything's insulting, right? Whatever his name is.
Right.
And like, is that how it goes? You just like, oh, we'll just get, you're not white. Can you read this and tell me what's wrong with it? Is that how it works?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, because that was a part of her job, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
But were like all the assistants doing that? Or were things just brought to her because she had expertise? Or like, what does it really look like in the real world?
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to know. I would love to like interview someone that's been in publishing for a really long time, but who isn't high level. So we can really get all of the middle ground information of how things really are. Because, people up here don't see what's happening here.
Yeah.
Whether it's they choose not to, or they're just so high up here, they don't even care to. So it's a different level of seeing and experiencing when you go from the extreme top to the middle and the bottom. I would love to talk to somebody who's been in the middle for a long time, who started from the bottom.
Yeah.
Imagine what we could really find out.
We can hear like the real dirt.
Because
even in here, all those editors, half of them weren't even like in the office, like they were so detached from what was happening in the actual day-to-day operations.
Right.
I don't know. It's such an interesting story. Yeah. I like stories like this. I like when you have something that is ostensibly just like a thriller or a romance or something that is in a throwaway kind of genre where it's like, oh, it's just this, but then there's so much more to unpack.
Right.
On another level.
GPS coming for me. It's a great day, guys. I've already gotten my package earlier. Here's another one. Look, I don't know about you, but when Hazel and Nella, is that right, Nella? Yes. When they had their first interaction, I was suspicious out the gate. Just like, nope, doesn't feel right. I'm already not trusting Hazel. I've got side eye with Hazel. I'm waiting for all the balls to drop.
Way too comfortable. I've never liked the girl, the newbie, the man, whatever you are. You walk in and suddenly you're like I've been here laying down the groundwork for X number of whatever, and you walk in like you're the who do you think you are?
Right.
Excuse me.
Like you've been working here for X amount of years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, as she's like asking all these questions and, she's not really giving them too much information. I'm like, trickery is upon us. Trickery is upon us. So I like that tension because the whole time you're trying to figure out what is this Hazel about? What has she got going on? What are her secrets? And I've got a lot of packages, but that's number 4. And the Zakiya, the author, is really not giving you a whole lot to go on. She's really holding you in this like position of suspense. And
Ding dong packages.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah.
I loved how tense it made me feel. I liked it.
Yeah, because you were all waiting because you knew something bad, somehow something bad was going to happen. And I had,
Right.
I wanted her to resist everything. And I was so disappointed. Like I knew, like you saw the train speeding along the tracks, heading for the wall. You knew it was coming, and you were like, "No, you're gonna hit the brakes. You have to hit the brakes. You have to hit the brakes. You're gonna do it. You're going to do it. You didn't do it. Why did you not do it?
Splat, boom, done." I just.
But it's an interesting discussion, right? Like, do you become, to talk about like our passing stuff, do you become like them, or do you blaze forward as yourself? And which one gets you to where you want to be, and how much are you happy to sacrifice to get there? Right. Because what's her face is fine. That Hazel's fine changing and being this person because it means that she can do the other stuff she does on the side, whatever that thing is she does on the side with the charitable works. She's like, that's fine because it allows me to get these rich executives to come and give me money for the thing that I truly believe in, right? And she's got her little gaggle of people that she's brought into her little hair oil cult of weirdness. And like, I don't feel like Nella's on board with that.
Right.
Until she kind of
until she's confronted with this whole thing. And like in the real world, you know, like you could talk to many of Black women and they will tell you there's a thing called shifting, you know, where you shift into a different gear and persona when you are in your corporate workplace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is real. I am a pro at shifting.
Yeah.
That is very normal.
Yeah.
But so I liked how it spoke to that.
Yeah.
Because that is a real thing. Shifting when you're at work.
I think a lot of people do that on some level, and then especially women, but there's definitely how much do you alter from your true self?
Yeah.
Like the further you get from that, what does that say about our society?
Right. Because also too, along with shifting, and I especially felt this when I was younger, like I can't fuck this up because I didn't fuck it up for the next Black girl. Maybe she didn't get in here because I fucked it up. So when I was younger, I really felt that kind of a pressure. And it takes a while to kind of like find your own groove. But I can only speak to how this fits in like with working in corporate America, which is the majority of my career. I don't know how that plays out in other industries. I don't know.
I'm sure it's very similar because I mean, obviously I've never been a Black woman, but I've been a woman and I've been in finance, and I know what it feels like to be discredited just for the thing between my legs or lack thereof. And like how you have to constantly recalibrate yourself to the dynamics of your work environment so that you're not seen in some way that holds you back. Because if you're too hard, you're a bitch. If you're not hard enough, you're too soft and you're too girly. And like there's no good line. And like finding that line is so hard. And then when you find it, you gotta toe it. You can never stray.
Keep moving it. You know what I mean? Like they keep moving it.
Yeah.
You know, it's very frustrating.
It is really frustrating.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't understand. So like the whole fact that, you know, like white feminism has left behind basically anybody else. Is upsetting to me because if anybody should understand any piece of what it means to be discriminated against, it should be a woman, period.
Hello. Yeah.
Because we just are. Like, we didn't even have the freaking right to vote. Like, we get, like, just like other people didn't. Like, so you should get it. Like, you should understand. And it's weird for my brain to compute why we as women aren't better to each other, at least at a minimum, across the board. regardless of anything.
Exactly right. And that is part of that whole argument. Like, you of all people should know. Even when Black women were severely oppressed, you too were oppressed and under the thumb of your husbands. You didn't have your own bank accounts. You couldn't do anything on your own. If you didn't have a husband, you couldn't sustain. Like, you should know what that feels like.
Yeah.
You had your own version of it,
Yeah. So like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind so that people can't have the empathy to understand, maybe not exactly, because you can't, we all have different lived experiences, but just to understand at some minute level what somebody might be feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of just being like annoyed or whatever your issue is.
Exactly. There was such a good quote in here, and now I don't know where it is, but I was like, damn, that's a good quote. And I meant to post it on our TBR Lowdown. I think I took a picture of it, but I can't.
We're gonna get better.
Maneuver my
We're gonna get better. We took a hard nosedive in June. Okay.
Just like, whoo.
Things happened. We were reading.
Oh, we were so reading.
We just didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah. I do feel like it's so much better when I do mark up and annotate the book. Yeah. Just like when we had the prophets as
my prophets is so marked up.
Right. But then it's so easy to recall various things because you have it marked up, tabbed up, whatever, and ready for discussion. So going forward, I'll be going back to doing that.
Truthfully, I think I was broken from Read Like Lacey, and I'm just coming out of that.
Oh, you were so broken from that.
I passed too many books. 50 books is too many books. It's too many books. I don't know why I agreed to this. I'm not doing it next year. Whatever Lacey number she comes up with next year, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I did not participate.
Well, because you participated in June and then got COVID. So
you're January.
January, that's right. Wrong J month. And you almost got to 50 with COVID.
I got to 40 or 41.
Yeah. So
and then COVID got me.
You would have been there. So
but 100%. January is easier. These people don't know what we're talking about. Okay, guys. So we have this group of book friends, and we create these crazy challenges for ourselves just for fun. So in January,
we hate ourselves.
Well, it's fun. So in January, we have this thing called Slim Pickings, where we read 50 slim books. I think we do
like under 200 or 150 or something like that.
220 or something like that. Like not over 220 or 190 or something like that. Your slimmest books. And
Little
then
babies.
That's January. And then May comes and it's Read Like Lacey month. Our friend Lacey reads a lot of books. So this is like, her birthday month. It's for her. And we read 50 books of any size during the month of May. Then we get super crazy. And in June, we have Chunky Book Month, aka Big Boy June, where we read books that are no less than 450 pages. We are nuts. Welcome.
Welcome to our insanity. You do realize that in Read Like Lacey month, I also read like big ass fucking books too.
You did.
I had like a little life in there.
Yeah, you did. You totally did. So these are the fun little challenges that we have created for ourselves. And
but I think I'm at like 170 or something like that, around that ballpark for the year. So I think I can slow down. I don't think that will hurt me.
Right. I do not have my reading goal is to read one book. You already know. I do not care how many books I read in a year. I just read. And I have a good time. And whatever that number is of being at the end of the year, that's what that number is. I don't know where I am now. 127, 126, I don't know.
I think I read like 200 and something last year, like 250, somewhere in that ballpark.
You were somewhere up there.
I was like 258. I was like, I'll read 200 this year. So I got another 6-ish months to finish 40 books. We're good.
Here's the thing, guys, we're almost done. But
we're almost done. This is what happens. We rant.
Here's the thing, though. You do not need to set a goal. You are going to read a lot regardless.
Yeah.
You know this.
Yeah, I know.
You do not need to set a goal. Now, maybe other people do. I don't really understand the need to have a certain number of books read in a year. I don't understand that need or desire. However, people have it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of those people really need a push to read.
Yeah.
You are not one of those people. You are going to read a shit ton, no matter what.
I am going to read a shit ton of books regardless of what's happening. It's just going to happen.
So you can
just
do what I do and just set your reading goal to 1, because I just want to make sure that I have a list of what I've read on Goodreads, but I don't give a crap about what the number is.
I just always feel bad when I get comments when I do wrap-ups and stuff, and people are like, how do you read so many books? I thought I was doing so well at 8. And I'm like, girl, you are doing well. You don't need to be a psychopath reading 50 books in a month. That is not healthy. That is not normal. That is no. Like, don't.
Here's the thing. Listeners, we'll be launching our official podcast this summer. I would love for us to have this conversation about.
We should.
Weird pressures that bookstagrammers put on themselves, because I think it's strange. Because
I think it's strange.
Too, like, oh, you had such a good reading month. Why? Because I read 30 books. Why does that make it good? If I read 2 books, would it then not be good? Like, where do these weird things come from? I would love to have an episode where we talk about these weird pressures that bookstagrammers put on themselves.
It's like, so weird. Like, who cares? Weird. Who cares? Read the books. Don't read the books. Read 1.
And also read whatever you
read 40. Want. I don't care. It doesn't, like, I don't get brownie points for being a psychopath who reads 50 books in a month. Nobody, like, I don't win a medal. Like, I didn't pay my mortgage. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yes, let's throw that in there.
We both loved it. I don't know how Emma felt about it. I know this is out of her comfort zone. So I'm not sure how she felt about it. Oh, also, let me also say, because we were in our TBR Lowdown chat and we were talking about, I think, our next picks, and Emma was like, what'd she say? She said
big brain. She doesn't do well with big brain books.
Right. And so this is interesting to me. Again, I would also like to talk about this on a podcast episode, because I did not go through a YA reading phase. I
didn't really either. YA didn't truly exist when I was a YA reader. Yeah, it was there, but not really. It isn't like it is now.
Right. To what? I don't know. I think I went from reading children's books to reading Laurel K. Hamilton. And then there were many years where I read no fiction. None. Mm-hmm. Only business books, books on web development, coding, like for a decade, maybe a little more. I just started reading fiction again like 2 years ago. So, and I hear a lot of people that read YA say, oh, like my brain can't handle adult books. And I'm like, why do they think that? It's just very interesting.
I think it's like,
interesting topic.
I'm going to give you a really weird analogy. I think it's like when I used to teach my friends to knit, and everybody would be like, everything that teaches somebody how to knit, they're like, make a scarf because it's easy. And you're like, why? Why can't you make a sweater? Like, it's 2 fucking stitches, and then sometimes you do 1 or 2 other things. Like, once you know how to do 2 things, you can literally make anything. So why can't you teach somebody something that's harder? I think we put these like mental blocks on ourselves where we're like, oh, we can't do that thing because it's harder. Where in reality, it's like, if nobody told you it was difficult and you just went in and did it, it would be like, oh, look at me, I'm making a sweater. Like, look at me reading this big brain book. Like, I don't know what a big brain book is. I think
that was my next question, right? What is a big brain book? What does that even mean?
I mean, I think there are definitely really difficult texts, which you and I are going to try to tackle a few, that are like commonly considered difficult texts, like Ulysses. Mm-hmm. But in general, most books are not that.
Right.
Just because you're an adult doesn't mean you're that. And most classics aren't that. There are a lot of incredibly approachable and easy to read classics. There's even really easy to read like Shakespeare plays. You know, there's lots of things that have like an entry point where you can start to learn to like them.
Right.
And then there's crazy stuff.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So
I don't know. It's an interesting topic that I would love to hear Emma's point of view, because she's the one who has the feeling that she can't. But I feel like she does end up enjoying often things that we read that are outside of her comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be curious to see how she feels reading it maybe again in 5 to 10 years. Does she feel better, like more into it? Does she like it more? Does she like it less? Right. And I would be really interested. But it's funny because like the stuff she reads for school is big brain stuff.
Exactly. It's like you realize that, right? Like you're not reading YA for school.
No, she's reading like feminist essays. Like they're not this big brain stuff. Like exactly. That's not. No.
Right. I just think it's so.
She's capable.
In the Bookstagram realm, I have just seen those type of comments so many times, and it just always perplexes me. What also perplexes me is when I see people my age and all they read is YA. That also confuses me. Like, just straight YA. And I'm like, is that a choice or is that a fear? I'm just always curious.
I think it's a choice, but I don't really know. I think that YA can be really fun, but I also think that it can be mildly unsatisfying when you want more. And that's when you need adult stuff.
Okay, stop right there, because you just hit the nail on the head. I don't want light reads all the time. I want to be challenged. I want to feel like my brain is working to try to comprehend what I read. I want that for myself. That's enjoyment for my reading experience. But I understand that for others that may not be. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a very curious,
it's a different way of reading. Right. And I find it weird only because in my brain I think, well, why don't you try it? Like you might like it.
Right. And listen, we both like, not so heavy reads as well. We're not reading like heavy stuff 24/7. We're reading a good mix of things, but I think that we both enjoy a challenging.
I'm currently reading a male paranormal vampire romance. So I'm looking into centaur romance because that exists and I need to understand how that works.
What?
Yes, there's a whole world of centaur romance, and I don't even know how it works. And your girl's going down on a journey, and we're gonna find them.
Centaur
Naomi,
romance?
there are half horse man romances.
You know what? I'm getting in on that. I'm getting in on that. Whichever one you start with, tell me I'll buy it. I'm getting in on that. Now I'm curious.
How does it work?
Listeners out there, tell us. Do you know? Do you know?
Do they change? Are they able to change shapeshift?
My brain is very curious.
So this is my brain on drugs. No, this is my brain not on drugs.
It's on not sleeping, not getting enough rest, and going back to your full-time nursing schedule. Yeah.
Getting called in Sunday night just killed me. I just died.
Right.
That was brutal. And I'm on call again Sunday, so and it's 4th of July, so I will probably get called in.
Oh no.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm making back all the money I lost working not my regular job. So
exactly. Light, end of the tunnel. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that is right. Oh, what are our July picks?
Yeah. Okay. So yes, we both liked it. Yay. Okay. Now, July picks. Our main pick is Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. Ooh, look at that.
I lost an ear. You lost an ear?
Yeah. And our bonus pick is Blindness by Jose Saramago.
Saramago.
Saramago. Where is it
Saramago.
translated from? What language?
Portuguese.
From Portuguese.
Yeah, he's Portuguese.
And they're both very short.
Yeah, they are very short. I do not have a hard copy of Sorrowland. I only have the audio.
This is from the library.
But I will end up with it because River Sullivan just writes so weird and beautiful, and I'm here for it. And I need to finally finish Blindness. What we need to figure out is if Netflix has Blindness on there, and if we could do a watch party.
Right.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun. Really, really fun.
Because I can't remember who's in the movie.
Mark Ruffalo.
I know that one I remember. But who's the woman?
Who's that lady? It's not Nicole Kidman, is it?
Julianne Moore. It's Julianne Moore.
Okay.
And Mark Ruffalo. Danny Glover's in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
I'm into it.
Is it on Netflix? See watch options. YouTube. Come on. It's not on Netflix. It's on Hulu.
For free, or you have to have Hulu Live?
You have to have some sort of premium subscription.
Which I do.
And it's on Amazon and HBO.
I have all that.
But we can't do a watch party, I don't think, with those things. We'll have to look and see where we can do a watch party.
Yeah, because that'd be good. But I'm really excited to read both of these books. A book.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited. And we're going back to our original
plan. Please break that down for the people. Please break that down.
We got a little excited in May and June. Yikes! And we deviated from the plan. So the original plan was to have a new release and a backlist book as their bonus every month. And then we just got really excited and picked a whole bunch of new books. And we all saw how that went. So we are going back to a new book and a backlist book every month. If you have backlist books that you want to recommend, you can send them to us. But we're going to do a new release and a backlist book.
May I also say that in picking a new release, do not expect us to pick the most popular hyped ones, because there's plenty of that going on Bookstagram anyway. We are here to help you find things that most people are not talking about. That is the point of TBR Lowdown.
We're trying to curate an interesting, diverse list of books.
Exactly.
In all the ways you can say diverse.
Exactly.
But occasionally we get really excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we are human.
We
get distracted by the pretty books.
You know, I blame Emma. I blame Emma. Emma?
Poor Emma. Poor Emma's not here to defend herself.
I know. I'm blaming you, Emma. She's going
to watch all the books. I feel like all the books were pretty in the last couple months.
Yeah.
Whether they were good or bad, they were actually all really pretty.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm excited for Well of Loneliness now that I watched What's His Face talk about it. So.
Oh, you saw what I was talking about?
Yeah.
I was like, he's talking about her book.
I'm really excited about that one. Whenever we do get to it, that one I'm super excited about. And
don't forget to tell the people about Breast and Eggs.
Oh, did we never talk about Breast and Eggs? Yeah. You want to do that on a separate thing? We can do that.
Separate thing. But we'll go. Breast and Eggs by Miko Kawakami. Miko, is it Miko or Mako? Miko Kawakami?
Yeah, I think so.
Translated from Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic, and we're gonna have a little
freaking good. And we both need to actually own that book, which neither of us does.
Oh my God, Alyssa, we have. I need it because you know what? I kind of want to read it again.
Me too.
The writing.
It's just very well. It's interesting. Is like how much is the writing and how much is the translator?
Oh, now
we're gonna have to. We'll talk about it.
I know.
But it's really freaking good.
We have to get her a new book called Heaven, which
he was also talking about with a man whose name I can't remember.
Yeah,
he was also talking about it.
I don't know if it's out in the U.S. yet, but we could always order it from Book Depository if it wasn't too expensive. But I'm not sure if it's out just in the UK right now or it's out in the UK and the US. But
I thought I saw it on Amazon, but I don't remember if I saw it as a pre-order. Miyoko.
So if any of you have been thinking about reading Breast and Eggs, read it. And then you can join in on the conversation with us, for sure.
Yes, we'll just do something, just the two of us, and maybe the next week or so.
Yeah,
where we can talk about it. Yeah.
Right. Oh,
because I work next weekend.
For our second book and our passing reading project, which is the autobiography of an ex-colored man,
which we should have read last month. I did read it.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
I was bad.
You went back to work, so
I know. Oh, it's definitely available. Heaven is definitely available.
Okay.
It is Kindle hard copy. Is paperback available? Hold on. You can even buy a paperback for 10 cents more than the hard copy.
I want these in hardcover. If when we read Heaven and it's just as beautiful, she's basically going to become an auto-buy author for me.
I think so. I really find her writing very accessible. It's really it's like, I don't know, it just talks to you.
Yeah.
It's not a big brain book. Like, I feel like you could think this was a big brain book because it's translated and it's adult, like contemporary, and it's dealing with big it's not a big brain book. It's quite simply put to you, like cataloging a regular human being going through regular human being problems.
Exactly.
It's recommending Heaven, Breast and Eggs, and Clara and the Sun.
I need to get that one too. You bought that one, right?
Yes, I bought that one. Okay. I listened to it on audio from the library, and then I debated buying it when I was in a regular ass bookstore, full price, no anything. And your cheap ass woman just bought it. I just bought it. Yeah. I was like, I have to own this book. It's so good. Yeah. But I really want the special edition I want the UK edition that has a different cover, not the hand. I want the one with the window and like just a bit of that one's really pretty.
Yeah.
It's a good book. I really enjoyed it. So
I mean, it's got some really, really good reviews. I like what people are saying about it. I'm intrigued.
It's weird, but in a good way, because it's weird because it's told to you from like a AI's perspective. So like, it's like the opposite of Breast and Eggs, where it's told to you from a regular human being. Mm-hmm. I can see why Clara and the Sun would be a little harder for somebody, because it is a little bit off from, normal thinking and processing and all of that. Anyway.
Wow, that was a lot.
So many books, because you and I can just randomly talk about books all day long.
All day long.
Because I need the new Sally Rooney, because Sally Rooney, I love her.
You need the Eighth Life.
I need the Eighth Life.
It was incredible.
You need the book I'm reading right now, which I have as an ARC, The Death of Jane Lawrence.
I do.
You need this book.
On my list. I need that book.
It is Jane Eyre with like a hint of Rebecca and like a little bit of, oh God, what else is there? My brain is not working, but like it is really good.
The Companions, which we both read.
It's got the same Companions thing with like the creepy house, and it's got that classic Gothic vibe. And
I've got to get my hands on it.
It's a romance, but like it comes out in October.
Okay.
It's so freaking good. It better. I'm 100 pages in, so it better not take a terrible turn. I have like 250 pages for them to screw it up. But I am invested. I left Jane somewhere. I need to go back to Jane.
Yeah.
So I got to get through all my filming and everything today. Today's just filming all day, and then I'm gonna read.
Yeah.
Oh, you died again. Oh my God.
You left again. You're out of my Twitch.
Why, Naomi? Why?
Don't you just love technology?
This is annoying. Why does it keep kicking me out? Hold on. Let me get back and then. Do.
There you go.
Did I go to the wrong one again? No, I went to the right one.
Okay,
right?
You're good. You're good.
All right. This is so stupid. Why does it keep kicking me out randomly?
Oh, what I was going to say was you and I need to talk about like the next set of books I need to order, because we have some we want to read, I guess, this year. Like, I really want to read A Well of Loneliness this year. You've got me so hyped up for that.
I have
You've got me totally hyped up for that book.
I have it as an ebook. So for now, I'm content until I can get a physical copy. I'm trying not to buy anything right now because I really need to focus on the book Nook, because all of my books are in purgatory. Yes. So I need to focus my funds that way. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of random ass ebooks in my life, because I'm going to be like, ooh, $5. We can do that. But yeah, there's definitely like, we need Well of Loneliness. I need Eighth Life. You have Ulysses. We have a lot of the ones we were supposed to read already.
So let me ask you this, because I know that we mentioned this to the people. I think on one of our passing reading episodes, we talked about how we were going to do like a read harder type of a challenge, where we're reading these harder books like Ulysses. Are we starting that this year? Are we going to read Ulysses this year? Shall the people buy their copies now, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think in the last quarter of the year, we should try to tackle something big and weird and feel like we end the year, completing a challenge, whether it's good or not.
Possible that we can do Ulysses and 1Q84 before this year ends.
You and I? Sure.
As a part of our Read Harder Land, and whoever wants to participate. It'll be on our Discord as read-alongs, yada, yada. We'll talk about them.
I think we could.
All right, folks, I think we could for that. We're going to be getting that.
You and I have both of those, so there's nothing stopping us from trying them. And then if anybody wants to join us, we're happy to do that. Did I tell you I also there's a book coming out that's like a history of Wu-Tang Clan?
Yes, you did.
Did I tell you it arrived?
You know that earlier this year I read the memoir of one of their initial manager.
Did I tell you it arrived? Did I tell you it arrived and I have it?
Ooh, is it close by? It isn't, is it? It's not.
It is.
It? I want to see it.
Yeah, new books are close. Old books are not. New books go by the month. Hold on.
My mom is blowing up my phone with text messages and photos. Okay. They're just like coming in. Whoop, 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 whoop.
All right.
Shit. I love it.
And it's
I love that.
Jesus is like.
So fitting.
I mean, look at them.
All right. I need it.
I don't know which one to show you.
I need it. I can't.
You do.
Have their manager's memoir. Hang on. Who wrote that? Did one of the Wu-Tang people write it, or like who wrote it?
S.H. Fernando Jr.
I am intrigued. Oh man,
it hasn't even come out. It's got to come out soon, because most of my stuff from Hachette comes to me like shortly before it comes out.
Yeah, I'm not on the Hachette list, I don't think. Although every now and then I get a DM from Hachette, like, "Do you want this book?" But I'm not on their list like you're on their list. Yeah,
they send me a bunch of shit sometimes I pick stuff, but this I was like at work and I saw the email come in and I was like, oh shit.
Yes. Oh wow. I think I'm gonna have to add that to my list.
Jesus is like, when you're done with it, I want to read it. It comes out on Tuesday.
Oh. What's the retail price on that gonna be?
Probably a lot, because it's 500 and something pages.
Sounds like a $38 book to me.
Yeah. Actually, I can just tell you. It's right here, probably. I forgot that real books have prices on.
$38. That's my bet. Tell me if I won.
In Canada, it's $30 here.
I was close.
You overshot it, so you would not win on The Price is Right.
Oh, well. I think it's going to be good.
It is going to be good.
Oh, that's exciting. That is exciting.
It's like our childhood, Naomi.
Totally.
If Emma was on right now, I could hear her just being like, who?
What is a woo and who's a tang? What is a woo and who is a tang?
What do they do?
Are they a band?
Are they on TikTok? Oh, us old people. Yeah.
You know, well, everything old comes back around like it's new. So
I
there you
know.
have it.
Like,
That's
come
how that
on.
works.
Like, why is this showing up now? Because now we're talking about this stuff again.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Excited. I knew you'd appreciate this.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What is this called? What, Streets of Shaolin?
Yep. From the Streets of Shaolin.
Nice.
I don't think I got the Will Smith book. I'm sorry. I think I turned that one down.
Oh.
I don't recall asking for it. I
wanna
remember
read
seeing
at
it.
some point.
I think like I don't care either way. Will Smith, like he's fine.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he's a good guy. Like that's cool.
I mean, yeah, I guess. You know, we'll see.
Yeah. But it didn't make me like super excited.
Oh, it doesn't make me Wu-Tang excited, but I'm interested.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably wrap this up because we are talking too much.
And I still got all those packages on my porch.
Yes.
They're staring at me.
Yes. So thank you to anybody who watches this on the replay or is actually here. I don't think anybody is here, but we appreciate you, and we will be back in better shape soon. Now,
and
whenever.
Check out our new website, tbrlowdown.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Follow us.
And we
on
do have a
Instagram,
calendar
TBR
there.
Lowdown. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all those things, guys, all of those things, we appreciate.
Thank you.
Your support. Tell a friend.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
Huh? Hello, friend.
To tell a friend about TBR Lowdown.
Oh, tell a friend. I thought you were just saying hello, friend. I was like, hello, friend. We've been talking for.
But yes, also hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
I need sleep. Anyway, okay. Let's wrap this up.
A nap? Yeah.
I don't know what a nap is.
It's been real, folks.
All right. Thank you.
Ending this broadcast now. We're out.
Oh.